Hello and welcome, this is Cheryl. Thank you for joining me today. We are on day 12, the last and final day of the 12 days of Stitchmas. So if you don't want to see this quite yet, now's your chance to pause, save the video to watch later, because we're going to open up day 12 and we're going to create a project. So it has this adorable cardinal holding a holly leaf with some berries. So at the end of this video, I'm going to share how I'm storing these little die sets. They come in little Ziploc bags or little plastic bags, but I found that because the glue dots that were holding them down held really, really well, I often tore them, or else they were there was an opening in them where the dies would fall out. So I've replaced that, and I'll share that with you at the end of the video. So just like all of the other stitching dies in this series, I am going to start with the thread from the back to the front using a little bit of the Best Ever craft tape to hold that in place. I have all my pieces die cut, and I'm using the variegated red thread that came in the add-on kit for this. It's going to go a little bit pink towards the end, but to be honest, when I was cutting this, I thought it would go pink a little bit sooner. So I thought there would be a tiny little bit more contrast, but that's okay. It adds some fun texture to the die cuts. You could also use some gold floss here. I think that would be nice for a little bit of holiday sparkle as well. I have clearly been leaning on using the gold floss on top of the colored cardstock throughout this, so I decided to lean in to coordinating floss with the cardstock for this particular one. So once I am done stitching, and all the other ones, the stitching is fairly intuitive. It's fairly easy to know how to stitch them, and just like all the other ones, when you die cut these pieces, there's a little indent or little line that shows you where the stitching is intended to be. After doing that first little piece, I figured I would pause. I want to add a little bit of glossy accents to these berries to give them a bit of shine. So I'm gluing them to the holly stem, and then I'm taking my bottle of glossy accents and I'm just covering those berries there, and I will sit them aside to completely dry. And this way you can start that drying process while I'm stitching and assembling the cardinal itself. So now I'm working on the second piece. There are 3 different pieces within this set that have stitching pieces. So this is the top part of the wing. And I also have the outline pieces of each one of these cut as well. So as soon as I have the stitching done, I'm going to glue on those backside pieces with my Barely Art glue and let those dry completely as well. And just like all of the other ones in this series, having that cardstock on the back is going to seal all of those threads in, and it's also going to make it easier when I go to assemble my card. I'll be gluing cardstock to cardstock, and I won't have to worry about that floss being in the way. I'm using 2 strands of floss for this. It's the perfect amount. I really like this amount, but if you want it to be a little bit more or a little bit thicker, you can add another strand or 2 and get a little bit more texture with that stitching. The last piece here is the tail piece, and again, it's very easy to know exactly where everything gets stitched. Sometimes the pieces are a little bit more challenging to hold in your hand while you're stitching, but it's not the stitching itself that's the challenge. Hold that again with a little bit of Barely Art glue, and now we can glue all of those backings on at one time. So again, I'm using the same glue for gluing everything together. I use this glue for pretty much everything. I want to say 90% of the things that I glue together, I use the liquid glue. I love the fact that you have a little bit of wiggle room with it, and I love the fact that I can have it in a fine tip bottle like this, and I can put as little or as much as I want. Before I glue the backing onto the cardinal, I'm just adding a piece of white cardstock behind the eye piece. When you do your die cutting, especially when you're die cutting the legs, there is a smaller piece that goes inside that eye, but you want to have a white area around it, as well as the fact that you want to have something to glue to it. So by having that cardstock there, I have that white backing to glue those pieces to. Now I'm going to glue the backing to the top of the wing. And these reverse tweezers are invaluable for this. You don't necessarily need them. You can hold them together with your hands, but I tend to get a little bit impatient, and I'd rather something else be holding them while I am assembling the pieces that I'm using or pieces that I'm creating. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the top of the legs to put that behind the bird. And then there's this piece here. It goes around the eye and it goes on the beak. There's one other piece that is the beak itself. It gets die cut at the same time as the legs. I die cut it with some persimmon cardstock. This was a scrap that I had. It's not included in the add-on kit, but I did like the contrast of the orange beak. If I kept it black, it was going to be pretty much hidden. You wouldn't really see it. To add that little highlight to the eye, I just used a Signo white gel pen. It's my favorite white gel pen, and just a little dot just really finishes that eye off. Another option here would be to use that glossy accents to fill in that eye area as well and have a glossy eye to it. I chose not to. I figured the glossiness on the berries was enough, but it is an option if you wanted to do it. I absolutely love how adorable this bird turned out. These pieces here, you could easily die cut a lot of them without the stitching pieces in it and assemble that bird without the stitching detail if you wanted to give yourself more options. I'm going to stamp my card base once again. I'm using my Misty stamping tool so I can stamp multiple times if I don't get a clear impression the first time. The other thing I love about it is it has that grid on the top part, and I can check and make sure that my sentiment is completely straight. If not, it's really easy to lift little areas up and line it up so that I know that it is straight when I put it on my card base. Especially when you're stamping on the card bases, it's much easier to have a tool that can ensure that you're doing it correctly rather than having to waste an entire card base and use another one. So once that is stamped in place, I can glue down my cardinal. Now I'm going to put him down, but I'm not really going to press him down quite yet because I want to take that holly and berries and I want to put it behind the beak so it looks like he's holding it. So by not pressing it down, I can easily just lift it up lightly and then put that piece behind there and let that completely dry. So this is how I'm storing my dies. I took the piece from that window and I cut it down to 2 3/4 inch wide by about 3 3/4 inches tall. And I have a Ziploc bag here. These I got from the dollar store and they're 3 inches by 4 inches. It fits in there perfectly, and then I can put those dies behind there, and it's a great way to store it, and then you know exactly what those dies are for. And by having those pictures on there, you know exactly how everything goes together as well. So here is our final card, this adorable cardinal. I absolutely love him. Thank you so much for joining me for this series. I really appreciate you spending your time with me. I hope you have a fantastic day and a fantastic holiday season.